Good morning, class. I just want to tell you today what the difference between causation and correlation is. So correlation is a statistical way. So there's some math involved in it. There's a statistical way to measure the relationship between two sets of data. So there may be information about it. We may be able to collect data on it, but it does not mean there is a causation. So it means that both things are observed at the same time. Okay, we're going to talk about this in just a second and get a good example, hopefully. Causation means that one thing will cause another. Now, when I was a kid, my mom believed in spanking, and I found out that breaking her rules meant that I got punishment, equals punishment. And at that time, most of the time, it was a spanking. So now maybe breaking rules isn't a spanking for you. Maybe it's losing a phone, or breaking rules equals you're going to stay in your room for dinner and you don't get to eat with the family, or who knows what. Okay. That's just an idea that one thing causes the other to happen. Okay. Um, Things being observed at the same time. Um, I'm thinking, what if you smell garlic? Is there a correlation between garlic, meaning that there is pizza, or I don't know, maybe burritos? Do you put garlic in burritos? I don't know. Food. Let's say food's being made. There's definitely a correlation between the smell of garlic and food, or pizza, or Italian food. Two things observed, two sets of data being observed at the same time. Maybe the smell of garlic with the number of people in the house. Okay. That would be a correlation, but you've got to have the sets of data is usually two numbers. When it says dates, sets of data, it does mean numbers. So maybe there is a correlation between, 5 cloves of garlic and pizza being made. But that's the kind of thing that you're looking for, sets of numbers. Okay, so going on down, you have a correlation without causation. There is a correlation or relationship between the number of firemen fighting a fire and the size of the fire. The more firefighters at the scene means there is a bigger fire. A lot of times you'll say, oh, there's 3 trucks. One truck, one fire truck versus, and that was a random line there. Let's fix that. There. One fire truck versus 3 trucks. Then there's more firefighters there, and that would imply it's a bigger fire. However, it doesn't mean that bringing more firemen will cause the fire to increase. In fact, we hope it will decrease. That's why you call more help in. So determine whether following are examples of causation or correlation and circle the right answer. Liz notices that there are more people at the grocery store on Wednesday versus Thursday night. Well, the night doesn't cause it. It just means there just happens to be a correlation. Okay, and I thought I had that highlighted. Happens to be a correlation. Okay. So when it just happened to happen, it happened to happen. I love that. Okay. So a recent study shows that college students are more likely to vote than their peers who are not in school. Well, do you think their peers being in school made them not vote? No, there was no formula that you could formulate and put together and say, well, this is what we have found. Maybe there is a correlation, but definitely not a cause for it. You lied to your parents and now you're grounded. Guess what? Your action caused this to happen. That is a causation. The student's action of being in school did not allow them to vote. That's why there's no causation there. All right, let's roll on down the page and get all of these marked out. Now, the correlation from weakest to strongest, this is like totally different from just talking about causation, correlation, excuse me. But I want to show you what you can do with this. We're going to make a scale. And I'm going to draw a number line right in the middle. And I did this the other day, and sorry if my lines aren't perfect. So this is -1, this is +1, and I tried to make them the same distance apart. And then in here we have roughly a 0.5, -0.5, and 0.5. In between those, we have -0.8 and +0.8. All right, so I'm going to use blue for strong, yellow for medium, and I'm going to use that's our moderate, excuse me, and weak is going to be gray. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is that anything that's in this area is moderate. Oh my gosh, I did not say that. Is weak. Let's get this out of here. That's weak. Lame and weak. There we go, weak. Anything in yellow is moderate. Anything in blue is strong. Okay, so they want us to go from weakest to strongest. So what I'm going to do is look for any number that would fall in the gray zone. The smallest number, if we were to take an absolute value, 0.23 is my smallest number. Point, or I started to put 0 point, and 2, 3, let's put 0.23. All right, and my next weakest or next strongest is 0.45. It's slowly getting stronger. -0.54, and it looks like -0.54 just got into the moderate range. So this one is actually a moderate guy. All right, and then the next one, man, we only have 2 left, and they're both strong. So I'm going to put them both in blue. Let's go back and put these 2 weak ones in gray. So I want you to see I put what's weakest first, and then let's go down and fill it in. So I've got the 2 blue numbers next, but 0.87 and -0.98. This is the right order going from weakest to strongest. Weak to strong correlation. Okay, on this one, the weakest, let's go through and highlight. Weak and weak, that's under a 0.5. Not moderate, I started to say medium. That's moderate, that's moderate. I only have 1 strong right there. Okay, so these are fun to do. There's definite numbers to go with them, so I totally get these. -0.26, 0.47, 0.59, 0.65, -0.82. And you're going, whoa, how did this negative get there? Because the 0.82 puts him over in the strong region right in here. And something weak that's falling around in here or moderate, that's just not as strong. It doesn't end up in the blue area. Okay, there we go. Last section. Okay, the number of miles you walk, and I did not mean to click that. The number of miles you walk, well, this thing is just having a heart attack. versus the amount of money in your bank account. Then hours you walk, hours you work. Oh, cute. I am going to have to pause this. I'll come back and do this later because I realized my setting just got messed up.